Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2013 Roger Needham Lecture. Thank you for coming and to the lecture which is sponsored by Microsoft Research Cambridge. Now down to this evening's business. The Roger Needham Award is part of BCS's remit to encourage and recognise personal endeavour in computer science. The award, sponsored by Microsoft Research Cambridge, was established in memory of Microsoft's first Director of Research outside the US, i.e. Roger Needham. Each year it's awarded for a distinguished research contribution in computer science by a UK-based researcher within 10 years of gaining their PhD. The recipients receive a cash prize together with an opportunity to give a public lecture on their work here in these wonderful surroundings at the Royal Society. Now, before we present tonight's Needham Award, we would like to take this opportunity to present the BCS and CPHC, that's the Council of Professors and Heads of Computing, Distinguished Dissertation Award, award winner and runners-up. And to do that, I'd like to invite Professor Simon Thompson of the University of Kent and chair of the dissertation selection panel up to the stage.
Thanks very much indeed. It's my privilege as chair of the CPHC BCS Distinguished Dissertations Committee to present this award to the winner of this year's competition. The Distinguished Dissertation Scheme aims to make more visible a significant contribution made by the UK and in particular its postgraduate students to computer science. And the winners are published, and so publication also serves to provide a model for future students. We received 20 submissions this year. Just to put that in perspective, in 2010-11, the last year for which I had data, there were some 980 postgraduate research awards. So, and the majority of those would be PhDs. So we're looking at a good few hundred PhDs in computer science awarded each year. So we've had 20 submitted, and as you can imagine, we're choosing the best from the best. And so it's not the easiest of jobs. Every thesis was reviewed by at least 3 referees, and we're very grateful to the 60-plus colleagues who put a substantial amount of time into this process. And it gave us the assurance that what we were selecting was indeed a very good thesis. And I'd also like to thank the panel who put together the final choice. Nearly all the 20 we received had highly supportive reviews, but this year we've chosen 3 as outstanding, being truly exceptional against the criteria for the competition, which are fourfold. And these are that the thesis makes a noteworthy contribution to the subject, but also it must reach a high standard of exposition, it must place its results clearly in the context of computer science as a whole, and enable a computer scientist with significantly different interests to grasp its essentials. So the 3 that the committee decided to acknowledge were these, and I'll say the runners-up first. So the first runner-up is with Long Tran Tran of the University of Southampton for the thesis Budget Limited Multi-Armed Bandits. And one of the reviewers commented, Long's thesis makes a significant theoretical contribution, provides solutions which can be beneficially employed in practice by computer science and are empirically tested. It's very readable and an exemplary mix of theory and practice. The results are insights that can be applied in real-world examples. The second runner-up was Carla Cristina Munoz Esquivel of the University of Ulster, Magee, for the thesis Play Physics, an emotional student model for game-based learning. And one of the referees said for this, the thesis is an impressive piece of work. Carla Munoz develops a model for learners' emotional states that is based on control value theory of achievement emotions. It shows a high scientific level of expertise in terms of evaluation, HCI, and empirical studies. This is demonstrated in the practical evaluation and the analysis of the results. But the winner of the prize this year is Adam Pocock from the University of Manchester for a thesis entitled Feature Selection via Joint Likelihood. And the referees say of this, the most significant technical contribution is to formulate feature selection as a maximum likelihood problem, taking an approach based on information theoretic measures. This is a novel approach with a sound theoretical and mathematical underpinning, as well as an experimental study that demonstrates the significance of the theory. The whole thesis is very well written. A computer scientist with different interests should have no problem in understanding the importance and significance of the research. And another reviewer comments, as a consumer of machine learning techniques rather than a designer myself, I find it very enjoyable to read the thesis. It's extremely well written and shows the author's good knowledge of the chosen subject. I would use this thesis as a reference for my research. And also concludes, I'd recommend my future students to read this thesis as a model. So I think we couldn't have a better recommendation than that. The other thing I'd like to say is that the supervisor of Adam's, or one of the co-supervisors of Adam's thesis, won this prize in 2004. That was Gavin Brown. So we clearly quality is leading to further quality. So if Adam would like to come up, I'd like to present him with the prize.
Well, thank you, Simon, and well done, Adam, from me as well. Each year, BCS nominates one person for the Karen Burt Award. This award commemorates the life of Dr. Karen Burt, who encouraged women to take up chartered status and to promote the engineering profession. It is awarded by the Women's Engineering Society and is presented annually to a high-caliber, newly chartered female engineer in any discipline who has demonstrated a commitment to the promotion of her profession. Please welcome to the stage our nominee for this year, Dr. Joanne Isabel Oslewska, School of Computing and Engineering, University of Huddersfield. Right, now on to the main event of the evening. I'd like to invite Dr. Youssef Hammadi, who's Senior Researcher at Microsoft Research Cambridge, to join us on stage and say a few words on behalf of Microsoft Research.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much for coming. So I will be brief before the talk of Boris. I just want to say that Microsoft is delighted to be sponsoring the Roger Needham Award again. And this year it recognized the work of Dr. Boris Motik, who is a very active and successful researcher in the area of the semantic web. So what we like in this work is that it has application in both, it has a big academic impact and it has an industrial impact as well. So Dr. Motik works on the semantic web, and he made several contributions to enrich ontology language and their associated algorithm. So I think the talk is going to be about the integration between theory and practice in his research. But before the talk, I'd like to give him the prize and the award. So if Boris wants to come.
Thank you, Youssef, and now I'd like to invite Dr. Morris Motik of the University of Oxford to give us the lecture. Thank you.